Hey guys, what's going on? Professional wrestling has had some fantastic mysteries, such as who is the third man and who is the higher power, that keep fans on the edge of their seats. However, here are 10 of wrestling mysteries that were never solved, spoiling what might have been good or even great storylines. Number 1. Who blew up Mr. McMahon's limousine? One of the WWE's most explosive angles saw the WWE chairman step into his limousine only for it, and presumably Vince, to be blown to bits. The WWE announced Vince's death, drawing controversy because some felt it confused WWE shareholders. Of course, these are the same idiots who complained that Shane McMahon wearing sneakers in his matches is disrespectful to the business. The angle could have been big money, as Vince's family scrambled for ownership of the company, and they tried to solve a true McMahon mystery. Unfortunately, the Chris Benoit murder-suicide happened, and the WWE swept this one under the rug as if nothing happened. 2. How did Hornswoggle become the anonymous Raw general manager? By 2010, the authority figure angle was overplayed, but give the WWE credit for giving it some added life when it adopted an anonymous authority figure in June 2010. The mystery manager would send emails via a laptop at ringside, ordering matches or changes to matches. The angle was dropped in July 2011 in order to run the Triple H vs. John Laurinaitis feud, but in 2012, the WWE revealed Hornswoggle was the Raw anonymous general manager. In typical WWE fashion, they botched whatever suspense they might have got out of people trying to puzzle out the mystery, thus giving no explanation for how the former little bastard had accumulated so much power. In a 2016 interview, former WWE writer Brian Eck claims Hornswoggle was initially selected as a joke, but then WWE creative decided to shake things up and transform Hornswoggle into a character named Lou Manfredini. The idea was that after Hornswoggle was outed as the GM, he'd reveal who he truly was. Saying that his name was Lou Manfredini, the last name of one of the writers, he would speak with a W.C. Fields-like accent, chomp on cigars, and refer to women as dames. He would say that he hated being the lovable Hornswoggle character, but playing the role was what he had to do to get a job with the WWE. Being the anonymous Raw GM gave him the opportunity to mess with all the superstars that, in his mind, laughed at him because of his size and treated him more like a mascot than a person. We had planned on making Hornswoggle a heel manager going forward. Unfortunately, Hornswoggle was reportedly given little time to work on the character and couldn't pull it off, leading to the angle's abrupt death. Number 3. Who was Kane's twin? See no evil. May 19th became a date no superstar wanted to utter around the big red machine when the words May 19th sent Kane into a tailspin. WWE fans knew Kane has never been the company's most psychologically sound superstar, although compared to whoever booked this angle, he was the model of sanity. According to Kane, May 19th was the day his mother and adopted daughter were killed in his life-changing fire. It also happened to be the release date of Kane's horror film See No Evil. Weeks later, Kane was confronted by his double, a masked Luke Gallows, the two eventually meeting at 2006 Vengeance, where the masked Kane defeated the maskless Kane. However, the WWE abruptly dropped the angle the next night on Raw, with Kane destroying the imposter and retrieving his mask. Who was that masked man? We'll never know, as the WWE dropped the angle, reportedly because Vince McMahon didn't like the fans' reaction at Vengeance. Number 4. Who was driving the white Hummer? Promoters just love to use motor vehicles and angles, whether it's Rikishi running Stone Cold Steve Austin down or this episode of Nitro where an unknown driver plowed a white Hummer into a limousine Kevin Nash was sitting in. WCW teased various wrestlers as the unknown driver, throwing out names like Hulk Hogan and even Sting. At one point, WCW even suggested it might be Rena Sable Marrow, but that was dropped as well. Finally, Eric Bischoff was seen stepping out of a white Hummer. But since Bischoff never mentioned the angle, the true identity remains unknown. We'd say the driver's identity ranks up there with other mysteries, such as JFK's assassin, but in this case, no one really cares. 5. Why didn't Maven win the 2002 Royal Rumble? Tough Enough winner Maven got an incredible push when he eliminated The Undertaker from 2002's Royal Rumble, scoring the upset of the night. Sadly, for Maven, the upset also upset Taker, who proceeded to pummel Maven from pillar to post to popcorn machine. Yes, that's right, Taker even threw Maven's head first into a popcorn machine. However, Maven was never eliminated from the Rumble by going over the top rope and both feet landing on the floor. Technically speaking, that meant Triple H's win could have been held up. Of course, the WWE didn't follow up, and Triple H went on to defeat Chris Jericho for the WWE Undisputed title at WrestleMania 18. Although WWF co-owner Ric Flair bestowed a title match to Maven the night after, citing how he'd never been eliminated, something should have been said at the Rumble. 6. GTV. During the Attitude Era, the WWF incorporated hidden cameras to catch WWF superstars' private moments and discussions, providing a believable way to explain why wrestlers didn't clam up whenever a camera was around. Who was behind GTV though? Chris Jericho explains. When I did the live with Chris Jericho with Stephanie at the Titan Studios WWE Studios, GTV was supposed to be Tom Green. Yes, and I just found out about it the other day. I didn't know. GTV. And remember, doesn't it fit because remember Tom Green used to film stuff, you know, pranks, stuff and all that shit? And then what happened was they started planting the seeds for GTV, and then Vince actually saw Tom Green's stuff and said, this guy is not funny. Done. Number 7. The Magic Briefcase. King of the Ring 1999. In 1999, the McMahon vs. Austin had entered a new phase after Vince McMahon revealed himself as the higher power, angering Linda and Stephanie McMahon because Vinnie Mac had orchestrated Stephanie's kidnapping in order to get back at Austin. After Stephanie and Linda transferred their ownership stake in the WWF to Austin, Vince challenged Stone Cold to a ladder match at 1999's King of the Ring for control of the WWF. There, Vince and son Shane battled Austin, but every time Austin went for the briefcase, someone raised it out of Austin's reach. The numbers game caught up with Austin, allowing Shane and Vince to get the briefcase. However, the fans never found out who was manipulating the briefcase. The story was dropped with no explanation, diminishing what could have been a fantastic payoff. Number 8. McMahon's $1 Million Mania. Who crippled Vince? When Vince McMahon announced he was going to give away $1 million on Raw, some fans were skeptical. However, Mr. McMahon's Millions turned out to be an actual event, with McMahon randomly calling people to ask if they had the night's password. The event was unintentionally funny, largely because Vince McMahon seemed to have no idea how to operate a telephone. Whether it was Vince putting on his Homer Simpson eyeglasses or Vince misdialing time after time, Mr. McMahon delighted fans who might not win money at Vince's expense, but who could at least get some laughs at his expense. Unfortunately, not even $1 million, taken from Vince's own money, could help the stunt, as Raw suffered its lowest ratings in 7 weeks. McMahon continued giving out cash, fumbling with the phone as he dialed for dollars. Eventually, the event ended with the stage exploding around Vince and a lighting rig falling on him. WWE superstars ran out, and Vince told Triple H, "Paul, I can't feel my legs." Who was behind the diabolical sabotage? We never found out. All we know is a few lucky fans got paid, one fan even getting the princely sum of $2. Number 9. Baby Doll's blackmail envelope on Dusty Rhodes. During Jim Crockett Promotions' dying days, United States champion, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, was confronted by Larry Go's valet, Baby Doll. Baby Doll had a large envelope with information she said would ruin Dusty Rhodes, information she would release unless Rhodes gave Go a shot at his United States Championship. Dusty looked through the envelope and walked off the set, speechless for perhaps the first time in his career. Unfortunately, fans never got to see the angle played out, as Jim Crockett Promotions reportedly fired Baby Doll because her wrestler husband Sam Houston was working for the WWF, which Jim Crockett saw as a conflict of interest. Years later, Baby Doll revealed one possibility for the angle: compromising photos of the married Dusty in a relationship with another woman. Baby Doll suggested that Crockett toyed with the idea of Dusty's lover being a black woman, hoping to turn the angle into a racially charged one, something fans know usually ends up backfiring. Number 10. Raven's masterpiece. One of Scott Levy's biggest strengths was his ability to incorporate psychological terror into his storylines, manipulating opponents and playing on their psychological weaknesses and deepest fears. In 2002, Raven found himself exiled to Sunday Night Heat after falling to Tommy Dreamer in a Loser Leaves Raw match. That didn't stop Raven from unleashing a campaign against Heat's wrestlers based off of the 7 Deadly Sins, and an homage, or ripoff depending on your point of view, to the psychological thriller Seven. Raven's masterpiece never happened, as WWE creative soured on it and Raven was released from the company. One report has it the masterpiece would have ended with an angle involving Raven envious at Matt Hardy's lust for Lita. Whether or not that is true, it sounds like it could have been an excellent program. Well guys, there you have it, 10 unresolved storylines that could have been money. Be sure to leave your comments, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Wrestlelamia so you don't miss any of our videos.